Pour Up. I am Mike Lake, a.k.a. Hillsboro Slim, a.k.a. Salt and Pepper Beard.
Yo, it's your boy CP34, a.k.a. The Big Dipper, a.k.a. British Montana, a.k.a. John Smith.
And we hit
Hey,
John Smith.
Tip the hat off.
And we are here to Pour Up presents AD the Artist. What's good, bro?
What's going on? Cheers to my
Yeah.
guys. I can get it.
What's
Cheers.
up?
Cheers, man. Cheers on this wonderful Sunday.
This was a
Absolutely.
long time coming. I know people say that, but like when we first met, what was it, about a year ago at Zydeco?
Yeah.
We was chopping it up and building like men do, and we had an amazing conversation. What's good, bro?
I'm here, man. I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative of being here. You know,
I'm glad you're here.
it's been a long year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's been a long year. A lot of changes. A lot of things happening.
It's always nice to have another light skin in the room.
Yeah.
Not real.
Hey, man.
I wish he was taller though, but
yeah,
we good. We ain't
me
go there.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. I probably could. You know what I mean? My life could have been a little different. Probably would have went to the league D1. Something.
Hey, every short king say that same thing because I lived that. If I had another inch or two, I'd have been in the league. I
That's what she
promise.
said.
You know
I
what I mean?
promise.
That's what.
If I had another inch or two, I would have been in there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yes, she did.
That's the exact phrase.
A lot of
Outside.
sheets. A lot of sheets. Said that
He would have been outside.
yeah, man.
Wow.
It was good though.
Man, I'm just happy to be here with you guys working on this project. Different stages in my life right now, going through different things.
Yeah,
so
man.
it's a blessing. It's a blessing, man. So that's what it is for me.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Hell, since we last talked, it's been a lot of like we talking COVID, we talking just us working. We keep running into each other at events. I catch this man at a performance. I'm like, what's good, bro?
Yep.
The Bloom on Franklin joint. That was tough.
That was fire. Yep.
Where else I seen you at? The album release.
Yeah,
That was like
pre-listening
last
event.
week.
Yeah, that was a little couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that
week
was
or so
tough.
ago. Yeah.
This is me. I'm gonna take a moment to fanboy a little bit. You meet somebody like, yo, dude was cool. He said he can rap, but we'll see.
Right.
And then you checking me like, oh shit, he really can rap.
Right.
Yes.
One of my favorite joints going right now is that the joint we were just playing. I literally just blanked on the name.
Wrong way.
Wrong way.
Wrong
Feel like
way,
you're going
man.
the wrong way.
Shout out my brother Push
Baby.
Supreme on that, man. Definitely somebody who's helped accelerate things while here being here in Tampa. Such a good resource to have within music. Definitely a hard worker, and just we developed a friendship over time.
Yeah.
And that's special, especially in music, you know what I mean, or just the entertainment industry as a whole.
It ain't always like that.
It's not always like that.
No.
You gotta develop that respect and that relationship with certain people, and it's not always the easiest.
Right.
But with me and him, we clicked right away from when I first moved to Tampa, and ever since it's been history ever since then. We've done records like Wrong Way.
Yeah.
I knew him
Wrong
before the
Way.
mask.
Yeah.
I knew him before the mask. You know what I mean? When I met him,
there was no such
you know what I
thing.
mean?
It was no pre and before.
Yo,
the
that's
fact.
I knew him before the mask. So I got the receipts. Don't
do it to him. Don't do it to him.
Yeah.
That's why they're not beefing.
Yeah,
Preem can't beef with him. He got the receipt.
I got it. I got the golden
receipt.
bullet. You feel me? So, but nah, man, that's my guy. And I'm super appreciative because honestly, if it wasn't really for him initiating the relationship that I have with y'all two to be on this platform, I probably wouldn't have been here. Or my course to get here would have been a little bit different.
It would have took another
You know what I mean?
turn.
Exactly.
We kept singing.
Yeah,
we would have
kept running
definitely.
to each other.
You've been around, like,
But
I
that
will
was
say-
more direct.
Right.
It was like a
Yes.
direct plug-in. Like
Yes.
y'all two need to meet because
Yeah.
he felt the vibe, and we had the same connection with him too.
He's very much that guy. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is so and so. This
Yeah.
is so and so.
Yeah.
Y'all link up. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And this ain't the Preem show, but I will say this though about him is that if you're having a conversation with him, be ready to do what you talk
shit.
about. Because what he gonna do is he gonna call you the next day. And you're like, hey, yo, I was talking to such about what we was talking about. You need to go, set something up with them, man.
Yep.
Be ready
The
for
shit's
that
in
shit.
motion.
Yeah,
So don't be half stepping with Preem. I'm telling
He's
y'all.
good for that.
Yeah.
He's good for that.
I love it though.
Absolutely. I love it.
And the same with this too.
You gotta have
'cause
somebody around like
we
that.
was-
You need it.
Me and AD was talking on the FaceTime. We was like, yo, we should do something.
Mhm.
Like, yo, we in next project coming up. He's like, I'm about to drop.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, well, let's schedule it. And then we scheduled it. It was like that quick. It was dope. Actually, you walked in on when I was talking to him out in the living room.
Oh, gosh. That's right. Exactly.
We
We were
set it up
doing
just like
well,
that.
it is good though, right? Because we were doing something else while y'all were setting something else up.
Yeah.
Right? So
Things
it's
gotta be
always
in
good to
motion.
be,
Double-
and we're learning that to always be working, right?
Yep.
Because we those lag that time that we lag, we get fat, fat, slobby, and lazy, and we don't. It's good sharp. What is it? Steel sharp and steel.
Still sharp and
absolutely.
still,
You know,
man.
So
Yeah.
and it's good.
That's
and
what
y'all
they
some
say.
steel motherfuckers. So
Is there a certain process to balancing your regular life with this artist life and that fast pace, like what we talk about?
I wouldn't really say there's a process. I would just say I try and always take advantage of the available time that I have. If there was a process, I say just scheduling.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wasn't always the most scheduled person or artist, you know what I mean? Because I kind of separate the two from the man at home and then the man behind the mic, you know what I mean? So I kind of have, I've had to learn scheduling and learning the essence of time. You know what I mean? I feel like growing up, we say that, oh man, like time felt like it was like lagging along. You know what I mean? You had so much time.
Yeah.
But then like, as time goes on, you like, damn, I don't have enough time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think when I hit that transition to really being like, I don't have enough time, I had to figure out scheduling.
Yeah.
And
it's just optimizing the time you got.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's tons of wasted time on nonsense.
Exactly.
Xbox and
exactly.
like that.
And then kind of figuring out the type of person that I am. Am I more of a morning person? Can I do everything I need to do during the day? Because I still work. I still work a normal 9 to 5 during the day. So usually when I'm off is when I tap into the music. So I gotta like coordinate time, being with my girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? That involvement with her, just being the man in her life and in our home. And then from there, I'm like, all right, babe, I gotta go do music.
Right.
So then it's tapping into like producing and recording and making content for the Instagram.
You gotta market. You gotta
market. You know what I mean?
To,
So I had to learn that and develop that. And it's something I'm still working on as I'm trying to do different things. So I would say just scheduling, man. Just definitely try and keep a strict schedule and be also aware. We were kind of talking about it earlier, stretching yourself thin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You kind of have to know when I'm like, am I taking on too
Yes.
much?
Yeah.
Am I really exhausting myself? Am I cutting short on like things that are important that I should be paying more attention to? So that's kind of how I assessed it, man. And honestly, since I've been able to kind of pinpoint that, my days have been running so much smoother.
It's like efficiency.
Right?
Yes. Do you have
yes.
No, and you see Mike and I, we've never stretched anything thin.
Some fabric, maybe.
Some fabric, right? these chairs be but I will say that's one of the things that we've learned too, right? Yeah. We've trimmed some fat, no pun intended, and we've felt, because my mom always say, to make it in something like this, you do have to sacrifice a lot, and we've sacrificed some things, and we've started to figure out, right? Yeah. And we've started to figure out what to sacrifice and how to actually proceed, and some babies you got to give up, not real babies, y'all know what I'm talking about. But do you feel like you have to sacrifice anything to like kind of can you really have it all?
Nah, I think you do got to sacrifice. You have to, because you have to prioritize, and I think in prioritizing you have to sacrifice. I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm a gamer, and sometimes it's fun to sit down and just game.
Yeah,
I was playing a game before we got
gaming before we
you know what I mean? So it's like
we online together.
I was an exhaustive gamer, and my girl isn't the type to be like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, let's watch a movie, let's do something. She rocking with whatever I'm rocking with. So if I'm on a game and I'm talking shit to people on 2K and I'm putting in work, she'll sit there and watch me do it. But at the same time, it's like,
she got a sister? No, I'm married. Never mind. I'm married. I forgot. Never mind.
Nah, man, but she, you know what I mean? She's just, I've known her for so long. Like, I mean, that's a whole separate story. But when I moved there from New York, she was like my first friend. Nice. You know what I mean? Nice. So like, I've known her for like over like 13, 14 years. So we've developed a relationship over time. But kind of just back to like sacrifices, I had to give up the gaming, man. I realized it was becoming so much, because it's so much easier to do things that are fun off rip without thinking about it, you know? And sometimes knowing that I gotta go chop up this content. I don't really like to edit, but let me go watch Family Feud for an hour. Let me see what Steve talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
So it's like, easy to blow time.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Oh shit, I'm still sitting here.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you realize like, damn, I really ain't get shit done. But I got a couple wins online, but it just doesn't equate the same. It don't feel that good, you know?
Yeah. Unless you an e-gamer, there's no real gain from it.
Exactly.
It's just relaxation and escape.
Exactly.
But you can't be escaped so far that wifey don't get the time, the music don't get the time. We listening to whack bars, like why every bar a 2K bar? AD, you gotta put the sticks down, bro.
Put that down, man. Yo. So sacrificing, I think, is important. Even a majority of my family lives in Palm Beach, so they live south of here. And even weekends where I would normally like go home to be with family, because I'm a big family man. Just to go home and be with family, sometimes I realized that I had to kind of curve that. You know what I mean? Ma, I can't come this weekend. I'm working on music, or I got to prepare for a show, or I got deadlines, own personal deadlines that I got to meet. So I think sacrifices has to come with it. I feel like if you're not sacrificing, then you're truly not engaged in what you're trying to build on. You know what I mean? That's my perspective. That's just my thought about it.
I would agree, because whether you realize, well, not you, but that person, whether they realize it or not, they are sacrificing. They just sacrificing on the dreams instead of the it's like I could put in the work to get to my dreams, or I could play the game all day.
Mm-hmm.
Something gonna get sacrificed.
Something gonna get
Hell, your girl might leave and you sacrifice that. Something's going to get sacrificed.
That's
You're
true.
just applying the pressure on some Tai Chi shit. Like you're putting it where it need to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, talking about scheduling and keeping stuff in a proper order. Tell me about the process of this album that we got coming out.
Oh man,
when you said it, I was like, wait, what? How we got here?
Tell us the title of it first.
So the title is Project 4320.
Okay.
And the meaning behind that is, so there's 4,320 minutes in 72 hours.
Okay.
My objective of the project was wild and crazy. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go in with a blank slate, and for 72 hours, I'm just gonna record, and produce and write within that time. Like I went in with nothing, blank pen, blank production slate, blank template. I'm just gonna go ahead and just go off emotion, go with what I'm feeling. Yeah. I delved into that a couple weeks after I found out that my girl was pregnant. So like, appreciate that. And I was like, I never knew what it was like to have that added motivation, because you kind of always hear about it from fathers or expecting fathers. Right. They're like, damn, like it's not about me anymore. Right. It's about my family now, about my kid. So like I always knew, and not to be like pompous, but I always knew that I could rap. You know what I mean? I always knew that I had the talent to rap. But there was just certain things that I had to clean up on in terms of like scheduling, prioritizing, doing certain things. And with Project 4320, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go in with a blank slate. And I have so much more to talk about. Like life is good, life is going good. I'm about to have a seed on the way. Like I want to do something. I want to challenge myself. Right. You know what I mean? I want to challenge myself. So initially I was gonna do it at my house, because over the quarantine, I couldn't get into studios like that. You know what I mean? Just when COVID was at its worst. So I took the time and kind of sold a lot of my kicks. I collect wrestling shirts. These wrestling shirts have value over time. So I sold a lot of this off to start building like my studio out in the house. So I got like the bare essentials that could get the job done. And I was like, I'm going to start recording at like right about the house. So initially I was going to do the project from my home. I had a couple features on there. I was like, yo, come to the house. We'll get you in a setup like this, drink, food, whatever, smoke, whatever you want to do. And then we'll record for the project. And then my engineer, Ivan Calderon, shout out Ivan. Yeah. He basically was like, yo, I love what you're about to do. He helped me with IOUX. So my project before this, I produced it. He recorded it at his old in-home setup. Prior to that, IOU5 was like a previous project to that, was 5 records. I produced that, I'm sorry, and he recorded that as well at his home. Okay. So when he saw what I was doing, he was like, yo, I'll go down this road with you. Like, we'll just come to my crib and we'll do it, 72 hours. I'll jump on this journey. And I was like, cool. Because he has a YouTube channel. He's super seasoned in engineering, super seasoned in production as well. And we've always had a good relationship. You know what I mean? So
was that his house in all the TikToks?
That was his house on the TikToks. Yep, on the TikToks, on the YouTube stream. That was at his house. And man, it was just magic. Like everybody who was a part of it. Shout out Smoke 100. He did a skit for me. Yeah. On there. Indie Indigo, Quentin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Indie. Yes. Quentin Cambridge. That's the homie too, man. They laid something so special. Like I feel like every time I enjoyed a record, it was we went to the next one and we were like, nah, this our favorite. Yeah. And we went to the next one and I was like, nah, this might be better. Yeah. And Preem, shout out Preem, he came through, laced the track for me. He went from studio to studio because he was working on his joint. Yeah. And he was like, yo, when I'm done, I'm gonna come over there. We'll lay this down. And he came over. We laid it down. Freshen up Zay. Shout out Zay, man. Just people that just came through off just the strength of the strength of believing in the idea, loving the idea, wanting to be a part of it. And then we just brought it to life, man. We just brought it to life, piece by piece, instrument by instrument. We just brought it to life. So right now it's in the mixing phase. I feel like there's so much power in this project for me personally, and I think when it hits the ears of the people, they'll digest it the same way. So I'm so proud of it. I'm really just taking my time to make sure that every little nuance of it, down to the production, down to cutting the drums at certain areas, increasing the levels of certain instruments are perfect to the point of, to me, then I can give it to the people and be like, I'm happy with what we created. That's
kind of a symptom of your wearing multiple hats. So if we could share a little bit for your people and for the episode, we produce and host this show, and we right now
there's nobody over there.
Yeah, this one. Usually it's us.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, this is a producer episode, but
right.
We produce our episodes and we do it live. And wearing both of those hats, there's always like, if the people saw me a second ago, I'm doing stuff online because I'm like, oh, we got to market this in the moment. We got to put this a certain way. Is the levels right? I got to check that everything's gravy. And while you create in 4320, that you're just like I want, like you just said, I want to make sure the sound is right. Where do the beats drop out? When can I strip everything down and it's just the voice or the echoes are right and the layers, the stacking, all that producer shit. So that's super dope, bro. That Pharrell, Kanye, Swiss, that rapper producer tandem is a lot of my favorite artists, and I really mess with that about you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot.
All that matters, right? Because we talk about this all the time in like movies and things like this. It's difference between a DC and a Marvel, right? Like the attention to detail is important. You're talking about levels and drums and things that people are gonna hear subconsciously. They're gonna hear, but they're not gonna necessarily know what you did. They're just gonna know that they like it. You know what I'm saying? But if you hadn't done it, they may not like it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's that thing. That's that producer mentality. I think that Mike is right. That you just like, are we perfectionists? I think we're perfectionists.
I think everybody is.
Are perfectionists.
We took about 20 minutes before this episode to make sure everything was weird.
Hey,
I was witness.
Right.
I was witness.
I fought with the camera at least 50 times before I hit record.
Moving it, shifting it. What's this? Okay, this looks good.
Absolutely. So that's that producer mentality. Would you say that producer rappers are more,
say the word, superior than Yanan?
Man, I would like to say it's a special skill set. It's a collective group of us that are able to do that, because you could be a really fire producer but not the best rapper, or you could be a really good producer but you're being really fire. Yo,
what'd you say? I said P Diddy.
Hey, shout out Diddy, man. Diddy actually
don't do that.
Please don't have me killed.
Oh no. But I think there's certain levels to it. Just to put it that way, you know what I mean? And I think that, like I said, you could be a really dope producer and not the best rapper, or you could be a really good rapper and not the best producer. But to collectively have the skill set to say like, yo, you're a little bit of both, I think it's super special. I think that's super special. So
you say a little bit. I say you're actually proficient at both. Because I hear it in the bars, and I was going to ask you, we talked about it before we started recording. I was like, yo, I was going to ask you who you work with in terms of production. And you was like, I produce most of my own stuff. And I was like,
I did. I do. Ivan has produced for me as well, because he is an engineer / producer. So he has produced like a couple the song. I don't know if you pulled it up, but Lose Me. So Lose Me was produced by Ivan.
That's the single that we run right now.
Exactly. Yeah. So he produced that for me. And stepping into production didn't really come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I was fortunate enough before I moved to Tampa, I was living in Palm Beach. And I went to college at FIU. Shout out all my Golden Panthers alumni. I went to college in Miami, and while I was in Miami, it's Miami, man. So I was out mingling, having fun, moving and shaking.
Have a little drinky drink.
Have a little drinky drink. And my cousin used to do the lights at Live, at Club Live. So he used to do the lights at Live, and I always would share my music with him, and he would be like, "Yo, super dope! Like, we gotta try something. We gotta try see what we could do while we're out here." And so I started working with DJ Don P. Shout out DJ Don P, man. That's like one of my mentors in music, but he's a DJ I live on Sunday. Next to Stevie J. Shout out Stevie J as well. Dang. And he sent the music over to Don, and Don was like, "Yo, this kid is nice. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's nice." And so I started working with him and DJ Blackout. DJ Blackout produced for his biggest record to date was Mims. This is why I'm hot.
Mims.
Yeah. So he produced that. Yeah, Mims. Shout out Mims too, man. I talk to him almost every day. Really? He's like that's my
mentor?
guy. Yeah, he's like my mentor for real, because his story of the industry isn't the greatest.
No.
You know what I mean? If you see his interviews and you know what I mean, he knows the good and the bad.
Yeah. Right.
So to have him in my corner supporting what I'm doing, kind of largely listening to what I'm doing and kind of giving his advice, I appreciate that on like a whole can't be explained level, because I listen to Mims. Like, I grew up listening to him. So to have him be like, yo, you got the tools, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Here's what you could do more of, or here's what you could do a little less of, challenging me in different areas. To have somebody I can just pick up the phone and be like, yo, listen to this off of 4320. Let me know what you feel like.
That's crazy,
to
bro.
Send it to him. I just talked to him like 2 days ago, you know? So he was actually one of the first people I told that my girl was pregnant.
Wow.
So, you know what I mean? So
dope relationship.
Yeah, man. I can't even thank him enough. But I started dealing with DJ Blackout. So he produced for Mims. He produced for like Dipset. I don't know if you at the beginning of Crunk Music. I don't know if you remember that song, Crunk Music, where they're like Blackout. Let's do this. You know what I mean?
Everything you naming, I was right there for it.
So Nikki. So I used to go to his house because he used to live in Fort Lauderdale. I used to drive from Palm Beach to like Fort Lauderdale area and record out of his house. That's why I'm so big on like house. You know what I mean? That's why I'm kind of like.
It's like home cooking.
Like pioneering not pioneering because I'm not pioneering it, but I'm like I'm promoting it. You know what I mean? I'm bringing that DIY because you can still get the job done. You know what I mean? Without needing the hugest production. And there's value in it, but you can always own your skills right at home.
I
Absolutely.
will say there's definitely times for us at least, you know, we don't put down tracks, but we definitely put down works content.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to literally 1 o'clock in the morning, I could just be sitting in my living room going, God damn, wait,
this needs to be done.
And literally just like,
you know what I mean?
Got a ham sandwich right next to me. You know what I'm saying? And you just get to work.
Just the freedom and flexibility.
Everybody should have one.
Yeah, like everybody the freedom of flex, even if it's not the greatest, but as a creator, you got to treat this life like it's a business because it really is. So you got to really like fine tune your craft daily. Like it don't even matter what you're doing. Set time aside to be in the crib for an hour and just write something or just listen to music, internalize it.
And it don't really take much.
It doesn't.
Like we got something that's pretty extensive, but like it didn't always look like that.
It was a work in progress.
It comes along.
Always been, you know, and it's not going to always look like this too. It's going to be bigger and better. I think people have a tendency to look at like, damn, I got to have it look like that. No, all you need is a microphone, an interface, a computer.
Yeah. For real,
some good ideas.
Some good ideas, and you'll learn along the way how to make it better. You know what I mean? If you're truly working on your craft, you're only gonna get better in anything you do. You know what I mean? So
you know it's dope. The one video where he was like, "This kid gonna be legendary." He was like, "Yo, it's not always perfect. You got to gather yourself, take a breath, and then get back to it." That was on that one verse. That's part of that.
Right.
Like, oh, okay, I messed up. Let me get the cadence right. Let me get the word.
Yeah, we saw you fucking up on TikTok.
Exactly. You feel me? So
I'm glad you showed that too.
I was about to say that. I'm glad you did that because I think a lot of people will do these TikToks and they're done so well, and they don't realize. Somebody who makes TikToks myself, they don't realize that shit takes time, effort. So, and imagine putting down a track where you literally rapping, and rapping ain't like making a TikTok.
It's not.
You know, and it's good that you saw that so people know that it ain't perfect.
Yeah.
It don't start off perfect. It ain't perfect in the middle. And at the end of the day, it's you fine tuning it. And I think that's important for people to see.
It's tough, man. That's why, you know, at least in my mind, a lot of rappers can't do the TikTok thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like a different, like some people give up on it. I'm not gonna lie. I edited that first video, you know, when I did the open bars, the open rush challenge.
That was dope.
I edited that video. That would take me like 3.5 hours to edit. Because I was captioning scene by scene
for a 3 minute.
It was a
60
minute.
Second.
Yeah, it was a minute.
There you go.
I tip my hat to y'all because it was episodes 45 minutes to an hour, probably longer.
Yeah.
And y'all got to sit here and do it piece by piece. If it doesn't look right, you go back and you know what I mean. It's just I tip my hat to y'all because at the end of 3 hours, I'm like, I need a nap.
What is a lot of the damn TikTok shit that I just throw? Trash.
Yep.
I'll finish it and be like garbage.
I don't like it. Yeah.
When we started like in the early days of the pour up, the audio only pour up. It was taking me 5-6 hours to edit an episode, and it's a labor of love because it didn't feel like work. But afterwards, like you said, you're like, man, I don't work 10 hours at my job. Spend some time with my lady. She knock out like ladies do. She sleep. I jump on the boards and I'm editing whatever we recorded, and just hour after hour, just tweaking and messing with it and doing this and that just to put an ep out. And like you said, now I'm done. It's posted. I could get rid of it and move on. But with your music, it is still a process. I even see it with like me and Preem was talking about something from the release, from the album release from his upcoming album, and he was like, yo, what you think about this? I was like, I kind of like this part, but maybe do this, and he changed it, and I was like, when do this man find the time? Same for you. Like, where do y'all find that time to be messing with stuff? And imagine having to
is your name at the end? Is your name on the back of the album?
It should be.
It should be. P, I'm gonna call you about that. We gotta get Mike on there, man.
I did it. On the love because I really do fuck with the music as a fan. But no, it's like when we post our video episodes, we don't go back and change anything. That's posted. At best, we might grab a snippet. For your music, you're still performing that stuff. There's a album run. There's multiple times. It might even show up on a deluxe or something. And that's even you tipping your hat to us. We tipping our hat to you, bro. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
For putting it in.
I think collectively, we're we're kind of on that same realm together. We're in that same realm together because we understand it. We understand what it takes to get to that kind of level of perfection in a sense, or at least that level of like where it's acceptable.
Where you can release it.
Yeah, exactly. It may not be
perfect.
Exactly. It's never like even the video I did. I'm looking at myself like, damn, I hate my face right there. Like I want to punch myself in the face right here. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm like, I'm gonna swing on myself. But
like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar.
Yes, exactly. I'm swinging on myself. I beat myself up. But at the same time, man, I understand the value in those little things, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna push forward with it. I'll take that note and I'll make sure I'd apply it to the next time I do something. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I go. So. That's kind of what it is for me.
When is that album dropping?
Man, so right now it's in the mixing phase. My birthday was just August the 11th.
Happy birthday.
So appreciate that.
That's the day after my daughter's birthday.
Yeah? Shout out Leo season, man. Shout out Leo.
Leo. Okay,
I'm just a Cancer over here, but I guess whatever.
Man, I don't go down that road.
Honestly,
man.
I have no idea what I even just said.
I don't go down that road, man. There's Zodiac warriors that'll take me out, and I'm like, listen.
I'll be the lost sheep in the war. I said I'm a Cancer. That's the end of my knowledge.
That's it.
I know when I was born and what I am, but I don't know what it means. But anyway,
that's it. But I'm in the mixing process of it right now. I wanted it to be closer to my birthday, but sacrificing. I would have had to compromise. I would have had to compromise some of the quality that I was reaching for. So right now I'm looking at like a September 9th date. Okay. It could be sooner than that, but typically when I like to put on streaming platforms, I like to have a good 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I could pitch it to the editorial playlist on Spotify. I like to have a proper rollout.
What about September 11th?
What about it?
That happens to be
drop it that day. My birthday. Give me a present. Give me a present.
It's his birthday.
Yeah.
That's my girl's birthday too.
Who cares?
It's actually more my
cares about her birthday.
It's more her birthday.
I'm gonna send it to you early.
Oh,
I don't want to take.
Nah,
I can't just do it for CP. So Mike, I gotta get it to you early.
I appreciate it.
Him. You ain't gotta give him nothing.
Bro,
his birthday is in July. His birthday is the day after.
So it's a belated
I like July. July's a good month. I like July.
I thank you. I appreciate it.
This motherfucker be doing fireworks taking that day for him because it's the day before the 4th of July.
It is for me. Y'all, nobody.
July 3rd.
First of all, nobody's celebrating the country. It's Mike Lake Day. As a matter of fact, it's Mike Lake month. That's what we're doing.
I like that. I like that. That sounds like my mom. My mom's birthday in June, and she's still celebrating. So,
salute to mom.
She got to salute to mom.
Happy birthday, mom.
Yeah, mom. But yes, I got you. That's the projected date right now. If anything changes, I'll definitely let you know.
Good, man.
But we like I said, we're going little by little, clip by clip. I got four different versions to each song. Like one, I'll be like, let's go back and cut this.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? I don't like my increase in the vocals at this part. You know what I mean? Just like the real little critical nuances of it. So right now, for probably the songs that I sent you, they might be considered old because I've now updated them 2 more versions. Right. You know what I mean? So
we in that era with Beyonce, Kanye, they changing everything all the way up to the release date.
Everything.
And I might hear a whole nother song by the time
Kanye's giving y'all rough drafts at the events.
Yeah.
By the time the album drop, you like
this ain't
what
that.
Song is this?
Where the damn song at?
Where's the one that I actually liked?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So but nah, man, I'm working on it. I just, like I said, I'm so proud of it. I'm putting a lot of budgeting behind it for marketing, for press runs, just doing different things to make sure that I give it the deserved value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with it right now.
I could already tell from concept to execution and even the tweaks, the conversations we've had about the concept and everything, that the level of quality is there. It's high quality work being put into this. I even like how you did the intro on the little teaser. Yeah, that was dope, man. I like the whole presentation of what's about to happen. I
appreciate that.
Cannot wait to see the finished product.
Man,
I will say this to you: 2 things. And the one thing, before you got here, we were running some of your old stuff.
Yeah,
and I was like, this nigga put the radio on. Your sound is very. Like I can hear that shit over and it's very replayable. It's very radio worthy. It's like literally like I'm like it's just bumping and I can appreciate that. But that's how you're gonna get somebody like me. I'm very critical of the music I listen to. Michael tell you I'm an old head. That's why I only listen to usually shit from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Traditionalist, I say.
What genres?
I'm neo
It's
soul
just Stevie.
and old school
Stevie.
soul.
Yeah. He
lied.
Just Stevie Wonder.
Hey, Stevie Wonder literally encompasses damn near thousands of artists.
He got one playlist on his Spotify, and it's Stevie Wonder, and there's nothing else on there.
That's true. Now, I was watching actually a Scott Storch interview the other day, and he was talking about Stevie Wonder and Prince, like these people who really pioneered.
You talk about quality.
Yeah, really pioneeered like the sound. The sound. And he gave those guys credits, and then you had like the branches of them. You had your Kanye, you had like your Jay Dilla, or you had even Scott Storch, Diddy, like all of these people, the Quincy Jones, like all these people.
Ain't nobody you can name in hip hop that didn't get birth from those two that you just named, and a few others that we.
He threw in Quincy Jones, and that's just like Quincy Jones.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's a tough.
This is rap
icons.
Pantheon, like God level.
For real.
Well, rap, it's literally. If you would say rap is the baby, they are the fathers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying of it, and it's crazy to me. The other thing I wanted to say is that I love, and Mike's gonna laugh at this because what I said is I love that you don't look like a typical hip hop dude, because that at least like lets people know that a hip hop guy, a hip hop artist, does not have to be hood, ratchet, all of the above.
Everything make you feel like you can do it.
I hate that, man. I hate that. Like I literally have a deep hatred for that like perspective of hip hop. Granted, it came from a time where us, you know what I mean, African Americans, Black people could really talk about the struggles and be understood amongst each other. But at the same time, like we advance as a culture. So people advance as a culture, advance as like within their self, that you don't necessarily have to be from like the struggles, the streets to really tell your story within this genre of music. You know what I mean? So my family's, you know what I mean? Both my parents are Jamaican. Moved over from, New York. I seen a lot of stuff in New York. I moved from New York when I was 14. But that's where I adopted like music. My parents were mad strict. I didn't really get the opportunity to listen to hip hop like that. When I listened to hip hop was at like after 8 p.m. when I had to go to bed, my brother would leave it on Hot 97 for me. For me to listen to, you know what I mean? I used to listen to Hot 97. I used to listen to 98.7 Kiss FM with Isaac Hayes. You know what I mean? And I used to listen to Desert Storm. That's when DJ Clue was on the radio. So like that's like I was sneaking to listen to hip hop. I used to sneak and watch BET Uncut. You feel me? Like
we all did. Hell yeah!
Salute to that.
I still be sneaking and watching or something.
Let me find this on YouTube.
My girl sleep.
Yeah. Let me get it on here.
I'll find that Nelly video.
Exactly. Tip drill. So it was different for me, because like I had my parents, still together, still married. So I like my story wasn't like, oh, you know what I mean, I'm picking roaches out the cereal box and that you feel like you had as a hip hop artist, you got to come from that struggle. You know what I mean? I'm not the typical looking rapper, which is why I don't really call myself like AD the rapper. Like I'm an artist, you know what I mean? Like I'm able to put things together in a different light, but I'm accepted by my culture and who I am. You know what I mean? Like I have a huge dancehall and reggae influence. When I couldn't listen to hip hop, my parents were always playing reggae. You know what I mean? So I grew up on like Buja Banton and like Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, like all of these real reggae and like the DJs back then, like Stone Love. Like so, my collection of music comes from all different angles.
Eclectic.
My dad has one of the craziest record collections that are just in a big crate. He doesn't even know what he's sitting on. And when I go home, sometimes I'll go through and be like, Dad, like what? Me and my brother had to get him a vinyl player because we're like, yo, I gotta listen.
He was just holding
on gold, and I'm like, yo, I gotta listen to some of these because I love sampling too.
Yeah.
So what I'll do if I find a dope artist that I've never really heard of, like 60s, 70s, or whatever, different genres or whatever,
I'll throw you some stuff.
Throw me some stuff because I'll look at the artists and then I'll go on like Spotify and I'll type them in. And at the bottom how they have like similar artists. Or like I'll just go through. I'll just click on a name and I'll let it play. So that's how I discovered like a lot of like I'll go back and listen to like Dizzy Gillespie and like you know what I mean Nina Simone and I'll go to like these different artists and I'll just listen to them and let them play, man, because some of their stories are so funny. You know what I mean? The way that music was articulated back then.
Yeah,
it's
a
so
different language.
funny. It's a different language. Like they wasn't cussing, but they was cussing.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? They was cussing.
Been nasty as hell.
For that era.
For that era, you like, oh, this is raunchy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Nowadays, they going in.
Yeah.
So that's like I like to be diversified around the board when it comes to music. But like I was just saying, like I hate that ideology that like hip hop comes from like the struggles. It did. I think every kind of genre.
The whole black struggle was the struggle.
But that was a struggle.
Not inherent struggle, but we can live in that.
Right, but we are one of the most advancing cultures, black people.
Yeah.
We advance pretty quickly. If you literally look at the time, the oppression, and then compare it to other cultures, they had thousands of years to get to where we are, and we've had a few hundred.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we are not what we were before. And so why would our music be the same thing?
Exactly. That's exactly it. I agree with you 100%. And there's a level of perseverance that goes into it as people. Because you could say we've had a number of different reasons to give up as a culture. You know what I mean? And we've been able to overcome that and be better to the point that people they bite us.
Right.
You know what I mean? They continue to take from us. So it's like you gotta tip your hat to who we are as people and as a collective, as a culture. So I don't you know what I mean? And I can relate to the struggle because maybe I just hit mine later on in life. You know what I mean? Like when I was in college, I was struggling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's probably when I got into like my worst behavior was when I was transitioning into adulthood, trying to find myself, trying to be a student, but at the same time be a star. Yeah. Because to me, that was like, it was a thin line.
Yeah.
Like I would, you know what I mean? I would skip class on Monday because I was at Live on Sunday. And I was drinking with Wayne and I would, you know what I mean? I was like, but Monday, I don't want to go. I'm too drunk. I don't want to go to class on Monday. You know what I mean? Like, so it was, and I was like, the plug in that sense, because you know, and being in Miami at that time, like going to Live on Sunday was like kind of unheard of. You know what I mean? Like you're not waiting in line, but I was going through the back door. So people were always like, "Yo, come with me, let me come with you, and I always wanted to take care of people, but it was never a good look. You know what I mean? Like it was never a good look because the people that were putting me on as an artist to go in there and mingle and network.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I had to learn to develop that understanding of what it really was. I look back now and I'm like, shit, like, you know what I mean? Maybe I should have did things a little different.
A couple
opportunities.
Definitely. So, but understanding that I think made me a better person overall, because now that like I'm kind of like past that stage in a sense, other artists who may be dealing with that right now, I can give that information and that knowledge to them to be like, yo, you got the tools, you know, be careful of your moves, like how you really moving or who you're moving with, because these are opportunities that are coming to you. It may seem fun, but the fun is going to come down the line when you really take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to you. And I was naive and younger. I didn't really understand that. I was going in there just drinking in the booth. You know what I mean?
We all were.
Having fun. You know what I mean? We was all doing that.
I got the picture. I'm good, but you missed the text combo or whatever you could have got if you really on your
we all millennials. That was the shit.
Exactly. That was the thing to do. So you know what I mean? But we've grown from that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we doing what we can to continue to push the culture forward. So,
absolutely. You a veteran in this, and I don't want to stay here too long because I know we chopping it up by 4320. As a vet with this Tampa movement, like what Preem say, Tampa will win. I see the artists in the building. We had the album release, and the way everybody networking, media. You got Symphonic and their whole gang in there. You got artists and all these people rubbing elbows. Is it one of your goals at this point as a veteran to put on the younger guys, like to steer them toward, hey, avoid these pitfalls, here's where I'm at with it, or you just stay to yourself and do your work?
It's a little bit of both, because I don't want I had people in my corner that did that for me. And a lot of, I think the younger generation or younger artists coming up, they might not have that.
Yeah.
Or the people that they have may not be really in tune with what they're trying to do and trying to build. So I think it's a combination of both. I think over time I've learned to separate the two, like when I keep my building blocks and my ideas to myself in a sense, or when I really like put younger artists on game when it comes to certain things. How to get yourself out there, the importance of networking, because that's an odd thing. You know what I mean? Networking in itself is an odd thing. There's people who don't really have that that natural ability to just go in a room and command the attention.
No.
You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Exactly. So
or even worse, when you're in a room full of other people doing it too.
Exactly.
Like we're all here to do this thing, and we're all kind of jockeying for. Yeah, when you was talking to me, we got Cash's Corner right there. We got Sweeterman right there.
Yeah.
All the Potters was kind of standing in that little
spot,
section, and you talk to me, you talk to them, you talk to them, and we like jockeying for position. So it is kind of awkward.
It's a little awkward, and then I mean, not to even go back to it because it was a challenging time for everybody, but the fact that for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, we were inside, that hurts you, physically, mentally. You kind of forget things socially.
Right.
Exactly. You forget how you were operating.
Right.
We basically did 2 years. We did 2 years.
We did a bid.
We did.
We did.
My dog just jumped. You know what I mean? So,
the whole country just
you have a whole
just
generation of people who literally came into their adultness like during that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Nah, it's true, man. I think it's a balance. You know what I mean? It's a balance when it comes to that. And I'm still figuring it out as I go. But I love the younger artists, man. I think there's a lot of talent. I don't downplay the music that's out right now because it's their way of creatively expressing things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When like 90s artists was looking at us early on, they were like, they not rapping the same. You know what I mean? The cadences are different. What are they talking about? What are you talking about? So it's just an adapted like ability as we grow as a society. You know what I mean? Things just change.
I will say this, not jumping from that topic, because Mike brought up a good point about Tampa will win. Princess on Tampa will win.
Yeah.
I was at the Lil Baby Chris Brown concert last night.
Yeah.
And they had the comedian Drewski open.
Yeah.
He a silly motherfucker. I can't wait till I do my stand up. But he said so. He literally said, "Man, Tampa, y'all got some talent." He actually reiterated the fact that Tampa has all kinds of talent.
Yeah,
and that's somebody with some world renowned opening for him. The world renowned Chris Brown and the world famous Lil Baby. I said the baby.
Don't get it confused.
You can't because all these damn babies
gonna run up on
here.
Yeah, watch out
the
now.
baby gonna run
Watch out now. Watch out.
I know.
He'll come
I know.
Don't be at Walmart.
I know.
or jewelry store.
I said that to say this though. There's recognition of the talent we have here.
Mm-hmm.
You included. And so I guess us included too.
That's true. Yeah, for sure.
So it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's important that, like Mike said, though, just recognizing, talent, steel sharpens steel.
Yeah.
We full circle back to steel sharpens steel, right? And so we love just being out here, and that's what we do. We just be out here doing our shit.
Yeah.
You see Shift Vision Media, just know we out here working.
Yeah, for a fact. And that's how it has to be.
Yeah, man.
There was no question there, by the way.
I have a question. I have a question. I want you to close on this.
Yeah.
For the people watching, the Pour Up presents AD the artist. Who is AD and what should they expect from this 4320?
Man, you know what I mean? I'm not your average artist producer. I don't got the multiple chains. I don't even have no piercings. I don't got no tats. I'm clean bodied. I don't got nothing. You feel me? So it's just like I kind of pride myself on that in a sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I want to create. You know what I mean? I want to create within this music culture. I want to continue to push the culture forward. With music, for me, it's an opportunity for me to get to live forever because the music is never ending. You know what I mean? Music has been. I can find polyrhythms from African beats from man. You know what I mean? From the origination of music. Right. It was just drums, no words, rhythms. So it's like, for music to me is an opportunity to live forever, but at the same time, uplift the people that come before me. Because we live for 70, 80 years, mostly on average.
Yeah.
And then the next 80, 90 years after that, the people who are supposed to remember you are probably going to be gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So your legacy kind of it dies out after.
You become an Ancestry.com bloke.
A dot. Yeah. You become a dot on that radar. Yeah. So music is something I could live forever through. As long as there's streaming platforms, and maybe not even streaming platforms, but just an ability to go back and locate music, my voice could be found wherever. You know what I mean? So even on this project, I have skits from family members. I have different people at different points saying Project 4320, Project 4320. Nice. I have my niece on there saying that. I have my cousin on there saying that. So it's like I have that ability to put them on, and they can also live forever with me in that journey as well. You know what I mean? Always look back and say, I did this at one point. You know what I mean? So I can't wait till the project's here, man. I hope everybody digests it well. And even if they don't, you know what I mean? Music isn't for everybody. My music isn't for everybody, just like some people aren't for everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I've understood that and I've learned that. So whoever enjoys it, enjoys it. Whoever doesn't, I'll take the feedback. Tell me what you want to hear more of.
Right.
Because there's a ton of diversity on there. I experimented with a lot of sounds. I made a house record. I've never made a house record before, but I made the beat. And I did my studying on 1970s house, African-American black DJs, DJs out of Chicago, out of different cities in the Midwest, out of Atlanta. So it's just like, I wanted to give that diversity. And that's what this project was about. It was wild. It was unplanned. It was DIY, bringing the whole DIY aesthetic. Do it yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm just happy I'm able to continue to create that. And then also, tell my story here on Pour Up, man. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about. I can't wait till it drop. Stay up to date with me. And then, hopefully y'all love it.
Yeah.
That's what's up. September 9th
right now.
September
Tentative September 9th.
Almost at 11.
Yeah. It's the 9th to 11th. 9th to 11th.
Yeah. Project 4320.
Yes, sir.
AD the artist.
Yes,
Mr.
Sir.
DIY. Thank you for being here, bro.
Man, thank you, man, for having me.
This is one of your first, ain't it?
This is my first surfaced. This is my first surface. You know what I mean?
Popping cherries over here.
Yeah, there's a
I don't want to use that metaphor, but
I don't care.
I love the introduction to the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm happy to have been here. It's a great vibe. We drinking, chilling.
Yeah.
And you
know, for the creators and the homies, man, and you both. Thank you.
I appreciate that, man, and I enjoy y'all both, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It takes a lot of good energy to bring people together and create organic conversation. And I think y'all, you know what I mean? I'm appreciative of that y'all gave me the opportunity. So much love. Much love.
I appreciate you appreciating it, but you've done this for us. Yeah, we just trying to get you out to the people.
Before you do that, go ahead. No, you good.
I was just gonna say to your YouTube folks, y'all check out the Pour Up at the Pour Up on Shift Division Media.
Please.
We got some things coming. Shift Division Media got some things coming.
About to evolve, y'all.
Definitely. Evolution.
I was just gonna say though, if you yourself or your friends or a creator would like to be on the Pour Up podcast, make sure you go to @Shift Division Media on the YouTube, DM us @Shift Division Media or at the Pour Up Pod on IG, and we'll be glad to have y'all on.
So, man.
Yep.
This has been the Pour Up presents AD the artist, Project 4320, September 9. We out.
Peace.